Hey yo guys, what's up? Wrestling Fan 011 is back here to give you another one of my ECW PPV series pay-per-view review, and this time it's the ECW November to Remember 1997. Just got finished watching it, and I gotta say, this it was a pretty good pay-per-view. I expected way more. I don't know what to rate, but still it was okay, I guess. Oh, and by the way, the reason I haven't done the Genesis 2011 pay-per-view review yet is because I've had to do like a lot of studying for my final exams and all for my first semester at my school, and well, I also am thinking about doing a review for this because I heard a lot of reviews saying that this pay-per-view for Genesis was terrible. But if I ever find it, I might watch it and I might do a review. So yeah. All right, on to my November to Remember 1997 pay-per-view review. So the first match was originally Chris Candido versus Tommy Rogers, and they were doing pretty good in this match. They did some pretty good technical wrestling. And then after this, Chris Candido's partner Lance Storm interfered in the match and attacked Tommy Rogers. And then Jerry Lynn came in too. And then we saw a really great spot where Jerry Lynn did some kind of uh, twisting moonsault or whatever it's called onto Lance Storm. That was pretty cool. And then the referee got on the mic and then said this is now a tag team match. So then it ended up being Chris Candido and Lance Storm versus Tommy Rogers and Jerry Lynn. And they did do some pretty cool double tag team moves, I will admit this. The only thing I don't like is why would they change it into a tag team match? Um, I don't get why they just changed it into a tag team match. That's all I'm saying. I didn't really like that idea, but oh well. I will admit it was okay. And then we saw the ending where Chris Candido hit his power bomb off the top rope and onto Jerry Lynn, and then they got the win. And then after the match, we saw where Lance Storm was down after Tommy Rogers, who hit the unprettier, or better known as he called it, the kamikaze. And then Chris Candido didn't check on him at first, and then he held up a sign that said, I couldn't remember what the sign said, but he held up a sign, and then after that, he helped up Lance Storm, and then they went to the back. So I'd say this match was okay. Could have been better. I just didn't like it turning into a tag team match. Should have just been Chris Candido versus Tommy Rogers, but I don't have a problem with that, I guess. So 2.5 stars. And then the next match was Mikey Whipwreck versus Just Incredible, and this was a pretty good match. I mean, we did see some great high flying spots from Mikey Whipwreck. Like we saw this really cool spot where he grabbed onto the pole, swung around the pole, and then did a Hurricane Rana to Just Incredible, which was on the outside. I also thought that was pretty cool. And we also saw like Mikey Whipwreck mostly getting his ass kicked in this match, because this was actually Just Incredible's pay-per-view debut, and that Paul Heyman said that this was the battle of two 23-year-olds, uh, like I said. And then after this, like I said, we also saw some pretty good technical wrestling from these guys, and I really liked the ending where okay, well actually before I get to that, they did something else here. Just Incredible brought out one of his managers, Jason, and then Jason was going to interfere in the match, and then Mikey Whipwreck suplexed him over into the ring, and then Jason actually covered his face like this, and then like he was kind of acting like a coward, and then Mikey Whipwreck low blowed him, and then I liked his reaction on the face. That was pretty funny. And then Just Incredible got on Mikey Whipwreck. He was down, and then Just Incredible told Jason to hold him, and then Just Incredible got on the top rope. Mikey Whipwreck low blowed Jason yet again, and then he shoved Jason into the corner, and then Just Incredible fell, and he was gonna, yeah, and then Mikey Whipwreck used Jason as a stepladder, and then Mikey Whipwreck, with an amazing finish, he used the stunner, or should I say the whippersnapper, off the top rope and got the pin. That was an excellent finish. Yeah, and I also heard that Stone Cold got that finisher from Mikey Whipwreck when he was working for ECW, and I don't really mind it being called. I don't really care what the move is called, but okay. But anyways, I did like this match. The only thing I don't like is that was pretty short. These two guys were pretty young, and they should have gotten like a little more timing. That's all I gotta say. But it was still a good match. If it went a little longer, it would have been 3 stars, and that's why I'm rating this match 2 3/4 stars. If it went a little longer, it would have gotten 3 stars, but oh well. And then the next match was maybe the first worst match of the night. It was for the ECW World Television Championship, Taz versus the Pitbull #2, and this match is only 1 minute. Pitbull #2 was already beaten up on Taz in like the first few seconds of this match, and then Taz just automatically hit like 2 T-bone Taz plexes, and then he hit a Taz mission. Pitbull #2 tapped out, and that's it. Nothing really special in this match. I don't know, 1 star. But then after the match, Taz pulled a really nice promo. He was challenging some guy named, I think his name was Brockus, to the ring. I couldn't remember. But yeah, he challenged some guy named Brockus to the ring, and he was like really good on the mic. If you want to watch that, if you really want to watch that promo, you should just watch it. I don't think I'll be able to say some stuff that he said, or else I'll get banned from YouTube. But oh well. The match was crappy, 1 star, but the ending promo with Taz was really cool. So yeah. And then the next match was a 4-way dance for the ECW World Tag Team titles. The F.B.I. versus the Dudley Boyz versus Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten versus New Jack and John Kronus, the Gangstanators. And I gotta say, this is a pretty cool match. Like, it actually just started out as the F.B.I. and the Dudleys in the ring together, and they were having a little stare down, and then Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten came from the crowd, and then they hit the Dudley Boyz with the chairs, and then all hell started breaking loose. And then all of a sudden, New Jack's music hit, and then of course all the fans were cheering and all. And New Jack and John Kronus came running out with the weapons, and then they started beating down on everybody. And here's the thing: two guys that you normally wouldn't see do top rope moves did some pretty cool high flying moves. Like Big Dick Dudley, who was in the corner of the Dudley Boyz, he interfered in the match and was going to do a moonsault onto John Kronus, and he did it perfectly, might I add. So that was kind of cool to see a giant like him doing that, even though he's dead now. But well, then he hit a chokeslam on John Kronus, and then another thing, all the other guys on the outside and were fighting on the outside, and Bubba Ray Dudley was in the ring, and then Bubba Ray didn't know what to do, so then he actually just came running and then did a suicide dive onto all of them. That was pretty impressive. And the first elimination actually occurred when Tommy Rich hit Tommy Rich hit John Kronus in the back while John Kronus was on the top rope, and then Bubba Ray Dudley hit a Bubba Cutter while John Kronus fell. That was a pretty sweet elimination. And they did another really cool thing where New Jack actually hit Tommy Rich with a guitar while he was on the top rope, and then right after that, Tommy Rich was just bleeding all over the place. Seriously, I mean, there's this blood running all over down his face. But like I said, this was before the Gangstanators got eliminated. All right, and then the Dudleys got eliminated next. I think it was by the F.B.I. or Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney. I couldn't remember. But then they did this cool thing at the end. It ended up being the F.B.I. And Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten. And then Balls Mahoney was going to go for like the Nutcracker Suite, and then Judge Jeff Jones came out in a referee shirt, and then he stopped the referee's count. He actually came in, started the 2 count, and then he went to check on the referee. Excuse me. And then Balls Mahoney actually picked up the referee and picked up Jeff Jones and told him and is arguing with him. And then Judge Jeff Jones low blowed Balls Mahoney, and then Little Guido got the roll up, and the F.B.I. won. So I guess that was a pretty cool finish, I might say. The match was okay, I guess. Could have been better, but oh well. I'll give this 2.5 stars. And then the next match was what everybody was looking forward to, the flag match between Rob Van Dam and Tommy Dreamer. I'd say this was a good match. I mean, we did see some really great spots. Like, we saw where Tommy Dreamer did that whole ECW thing, and then he did the drop kick into Rob Van Dam's face while he had the chair. And then we saw another great spot where Van Dam was going to do that split-legged moonsault, and then and then Tommy Dreamer reversed it, and he had the chair on his knees, and then Rob Van Dam fell into it. Yeah, and it eventually, and they did this really cool spot. I mean, Tommy Dreamer did a pile driver on Rob Van Dam, and Rob Van Dam actually flew in the air while that happened. That was a pretty sick pile driver. Yeah, but then it ended up being a no contest after that because we saw Shane Douglas and I think the guy was Rick Rude. I couldn't remember. They came out and interfered in the match, and so did the returning Stevie Richards, and they helped Rob Van Dam beat up on Tom Dreamer, but they didn't get the pin because the referee was down. And then they just made Stevie Richards count, and they said that, and then Bill Alfonso got on the mic and then said, "Your winner, Rob Van Dam." And I kind of like this of Stevie Richards returning because Stevie Richards was like a great guy in ECW, and Shane Douglas and I think the other guy was Rick Rude. They were cool too. I just didn't like Shane Douglas and Rick Rude's blue outfits. I couldn't understand why they were wearing that. And then Sabu came out and was going to put Tommy Dreamer through a table, and then the Sandman came out and they were going to start their tables and ladders match. And that's what I'm going to rate now and I don't really know what to rate on this match. I was actually looking forward to this match because I've never seen this match before, and I heard it was awesome. But this match was, I don't know what to rate on this. Sandman was so sloppy in this match. He sucked. I will admit, they did do some cool table spots where the first one where Sabu did the triple jump and then he did a leg drop to Sandman through the table. I like that. And then they did this other cool spot where Sandman, well, being as sloppy as he was, he climbed up on the top rope and then did a somersault senton off the top rope and then through the table on the outside, but he missed and he went through the table. And then he did this other thing where I think Sabu was going to do some kind of seesaw ladder with action with the ladder. I think that was going to happen, and then Sabu actually went on the apron, and then Sandman actually just rolled over on the ladder, and it looked like he was drunk, like really drunk. It doesn't really look like he's drunk in the other matches, and I don't know. And then they did this really awesome spot where Sabu was on the table on the outside, and then Sandman was on like one of the little ladders, and then Sandman just actually launched himself off the little ladder and then put Sabu through the table. That was really cool. And then Sabu got the win when he used the Arabian Facebuster with the ladder, and he got the win. I don't know what to rate on this match. They did some nice table spots. There was a great storytelling, but the match was really sloppy as hell. If it wasn't really like this sloppy, I would have rated 3 stars, but I'm going to rate this 2 3/4 stars because it was sloppy at best, but kind of okay. Good table spots, but just really sloppy. Oh well. And then we go to the main event, which was for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. The defending champion, Bam Bam Bigelow, against the challenger, the franchise Shane Douglas. And I really did like this match because they had some great storytelling of how Bam Bam Bigelow came to ECW to rid ECW of Shane Douglas. And during this whole match, they did this thing where Shane Douglas couldn't lift up Bam Bam Bigelow, and they made Bam Bam Bigelow look like a monster in this match. And he mainly dominated this whole match, and they did this really cool spot where Shane Douglas was finally threw Bam Bam Bigelow over the top rope, and then he was going to do a Hurricane Rana, but he leaped over the top rope, and then he was going to do a Hurricane Rana, but then Bam Bam reversed it and put him to the table. And of course the fans were booing Bam Bam because the fans were mainly behind Shane Douglas because this was his hometown. It was in Monaca, Pennsylvania, by the way. And Shane Douglas finally did get that belly to belly suplex, but he was just too tired and didn't pin him at first. And then Bam Bam actually set up a chair and a small piece of a broken table together, and then Shane Douglas and he was going to do a suplex through it off the top rope, but then Shane Douglas reversed it and then did another belly to belly suplex through the table. And when he got that 3 count, the entire crowd went crazy. The fans were so electric for this match. And then Chris Candido and Shane Douglas came out and celebrated with him. And the entire crowd was just like really happy for him. And I gotta admit, this match was really great. I gotta admit, I really did like the storytelling, and the fans' reaction was really cool too. So I'm gonna rate this 3 stars and a quarter. I mean 3 1/4 stars. And then they well anyways this pay-per-view was okay, I guess. Could have been better. The tables and ladders match was really sloppy but good table spots. I really did like the main event and Mikey Whipwreck versus Just Incredible. Taz versus Pitbull #2 was the worst match of the night probably. I didn't really like the whole turn on the tag team match thing, and the four-way dance was pretty cool. I liked the return of Stevie Richards. So, oh well. It was pretty good. I'll rate this 7 3/4 out of 10 for the pay-per-view. Overall, nice pay-per-view. Maybe you might want to check it out. Maybe not. So, that's all the time I have. I'm Wrestling Fan 0011. I'm out. Peace.